Good morning, good morning. It is Saturday morning, and welcome to the E-Shack. It is Junkanoo 242, the longest cultural show in the Bahamas. Guess what? We're talking Junkanoo. Hey, Chairman, what you saying, man?
Good morning, good morning, good morning this morning. How you feeling, my brother?
Man, listen, the weather right. The weather right. I feel as though this is a good shack day today, my brother. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
this could be a good Saturday. This could be a
Listen,
good Saturday to go to the shop.
listen to me.
You know, some of them fellas been in the shop from that time, you know?
What you mean they've been in the shack from that time? What they's doing?
They been in the shop from that time. Ask Ronald. Ronald know.
What?
He ain't got
What?
ain't got admitted, but he know.
What?
Listen, sometimes
See, now is a good time to say good morning to him.
Yeah. Good
they've
morning, Belfort.
been in the shop getting ready for Junkanoo 242.
Yeah.
They rushing Junkanoo 242. And you
Yeah.
know, this evening,
Yeah.
what you talking about?
Boy,
Yeah.
Ronald, that's a good cover up, boy. That's a good cover up.
Everybody in the shack, man. Everybody in the shack. They've been in the
Band the
shack
shack.
ready for independence. You see how they look the other day? Everybody.
Yeah.
What you think? How do you think they do that? Out the shack.
Oh, the jockey. All right. At least, Franklin, at least he admitted it, eh?
Yeah, we getting closer. He getting
We
closer to
get close to
realizing
the
the
truth.
truth.
Well, I
Okay.
just want you to
Exactly.
know that everybody been in the shack. Don't try to cast it on one set of people who've been in the shack.
All right, let's now, Franklin. We admitted it. It's open.
I ain't say we ain't been in the shack. I say everybody been in the shack. You know too. You're still trying to keep up. You're still trying to keep up. Come on,
Folks,
catch up. Yo, cool, catch up.
before the show get out of hand, let us get started with our prayer. Heavenly Father, for the gift of life, we give you thanks. For our nation, we pray for peace, progress, prosperity and principle, recovery and restoration. For ourselves, we pray for wisdom to use your gifts wisely, especially the gift of Junkanoo, so that we may honor you, serve your people, build better communities and a better Bahamas and a better world. Amen.
Amen. Proud to
Proud
be
to be
Bahamian.
Bahamian.
What you got this morning, my brother?
Boy, the social media headlines, everything in sports is ringing. Shawnee Miller Weibo ripping
Yeah.
up the tracks, man. Ripping up the tracks at the games in Eugene, Oregon. On Friday, she won the 400 meters again. I mean, this girl is she's just collecting medals on all the circuits that she's attending right now. Everybody's
Awesome.
screaming it, sending the videos around, and it's something, to show you. Listen, when you see people representing their country well, you see those fly colors just streaming down. It's like, oh yeah, this is it right here. That was my proud to be Bahamian moment.
Definitely a proud moment. I mean, it gives so many other young people an opportunity to see what is possible.
Hmm.
And that to me is that speaks volumes, because you can look at somebody like her and say, I can do that too. And
Definitely.
that's a definite confidence booster. So we celebrate with Shawnee and her entire family, and indeed the family of the Bahamas. Proud
Yeah,
to be
man.
Bahamian moment indeed.
Let me tell
Yeah.
you about a moment.
What's that?
There is a Junkanoo display down at the Ivy Dumont building on University Boulevard. That's Old
Ah,
Thompson Boulevard. It's
Hmm.
called the Rush Collection, presented by Mario Smith Jr., a Bahamian artist who reside in Las Vegas. You have to go and see it. It is an entire Junkanoo parade lined up from front to back with more than 100 images on a 24 feet by 6 feet display. Absolutely fabulous. You gotta go down there and see it next week. You will love it.
wow. Was Carlos Bain involved with that project, Ronald?
Yes. Carlos was involved in that project. Yes.
Yes.
You
Boy,
can go and have a look
I've
at it.
seen pictures of it, but I have not seen it personally. I have to make it a point to go and see it.
Yes,
And I'm
it
sure it's
opened
impressive.
It opened on the 11th of July, and it's a standing exhibition there in the foyer for, I'm not sure how long, but you've got to go and see it. You will be absolutely thrilled that you had the chance to see it.
What is how long will it be on display, and do you know what the plan is for them to do, what they will do with it afterwards?
I had him on my show this morning on the Culture Caravan, and we talked about it. It's the beginning of a series of works that he's going to mount around the country. Not particularly sure how long it will be on display in the foyer of the building, but one thing I cautioned them this morning, it is so attractive and is unsecure. Plenty people can see plenty of people missing already. All right. So I would implore the ministry to secure that. It's a brilliant piece of work, man.
Yeah, you got to touch it.
I mean, just touching it. Some pieces done gone.
What do you mean?
Wow.
Some pieces are missing already. Some pieces
What?
are missing. Yes, people have actually pilfered several of the images already.
No, man. No,
because while it sits on the table, on the display table, it only has some stanchions around the table, and they got some signs, please don't touch, but nobody's listening to them signs. And so you could see, based on the way it's set up, 5 rows across, you could see some pieces are gone already.
Bushcraft pieces gone.
And I'm sure unless they secure it properly, other pieces will be gone.
So how did they cover the images? Were they painted? What?
He says about 90% of them are hand painted, but some is digitally done.
Okay.
Yeah. But he said about 90% of it are handcrafted. Yeah.
Wow.
But it's beautiful. Beautiful.
Wow.
I mean, the entire group from the banner to the lead pieces, to the choreographed dancers, to the horn section, to the back line, brilliantly laid out.
When you think about that, the only thing that goes, well, not the only thing, but one of the things that goes to my mind is the amount of time that must have been invested in a project like that. Yes. And, how much help did he have and what type of help did he have? Because either way, it's a laborious enterprise.
Yeah.
But
go on, sorry.
But it also goes on to show designers and and creators in the Junkanoo life that there's no limits to their creativity. They could take it off of Bay Street and actually put it in various different arenas. And that's what that showcase is really showing me, to a lot of people that, hey, just like, you could take this creativity, shrink it down into something small, and you'll be surprised of who may want a piece like this in their home on their centerpiece.
Yeah, someone could be commissioned. Someone may commission them to do it.
And so I encourage every Junkanoo performer out there, not only Junkanoo performers, every Bahamian out there, get down to the Ivy Dumont building and see that exhibition. It is, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
That's good.
I'll send you the video. I have a video of it. I'll send it to both of you in a little while so you can get a sense of what's going on.
Well, thank you very much.
No better way to start the show than that proud to be Bahamian moment right there. Well, we're going to run to our first break. And when we get back, we will dive into the show for today. We'll be right back. You're tuning into Junkanoo 242. Giving birth to ZNS Radio.
Respect the sign. When vehicles without an accessible parking permit use a parking space designated for persons with disabilities, even for just a minute, that's 60 seconds too long. The abuse of accessible parking spaces is a daily frustration for persons with disabilities. It is inconsiderate, insensitive, and hinders persons with disabilities from effectively conducting business and actively participating in community life. Never park in a space reserved for people with disabilities, unless you have a permit to do so. It is the right and respectful thing to do. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, a unit in the Ministry of Social Services and Community Development. For more information, visit www.disabilitiescommissionbahamas.org.
The Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development, in conjunction with the National Emergency Agency, presents the 2022 official hurricane shelters for the islands of the Bahamas. Eleuthera Central District, Camp Simonet, James Cistern Gregory Town, Church of the Nazarene, Palmetto Point, Emily G. Petty Primary School, Governor's Harbor, George E. Johnson, Hatchet Bay, the Salvation Army, Palmetto Point, Wesley Methodist Church Hall, Palmetto Point, Eleuthera North District, Charles Wesley Methodist Church, Lower Bogue, Mission Church of God, Upper Bogue, New Jerusalem Church, Blackwood, the Current Community Center, the Current, the Haitian Baptist People Church, The Bluff, Zion Methodist Church, Current Island, Eleuthera South District, Church of God of Prophecy, Tarpon Bay, Deep Creek Primary School, Deep Creek, Green Castle Primary School, Green Castle, Rock Sound Primary School, Rock Sound, Whimsy's Bite Primary School, Whimsy's Bite.
From the Junkanoo archives on the Junkanoo timeline, the year was 2013. At the event to mark the 50th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, the Junkanoo Commandos from the Bahamas performed on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in the Washington, D.C. Another exciting moment on the Junkanoo timeline.
Wow, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Junkanoo 242, the E-Shack, and many other shacks around the country are wide open at this point. Don't mind these people saying they in the shack. They in the shack working hard, preparing for the big dance, Boxing Day 2022. We haven't been on Bay Street for quite a while, so I predict that this is going to be one of the biggest parades to date, particularly looking at the attendance at the recent independence celebrations. I mean, there were thousands of people out there. I think that may have been one of the biggest parades for the JDA as well.
Man, but Bastian, we had to see in this coming, because when you talk about where we are, in talks of streets parade, we saw what happened with the Easter Rush. All right, we saw when the crowd assembled out there on Wolf Road, and it was just everybody coming out. I mean, from their homes, everywhere, lining the streets, in the road, and after it just started from there. People was just hungry to hear that beat, to hear that music, to hear the drums. So it's like, okay, this one really said that Easter Rush, I think, really opened the doors and showed people, listen, get ready for Junkanoo, it's coming back. And after that was the Labor Day parade. I think
right.
the groups really started to say, okay, now we back on Bay Street. This is the first one on Bay Street in our groups. And we saw the people there, and then, like you said, with the People's Love and Community Rush with the JDA
Love and Unity Rush.
Yeah, it was overwhelming, with the joy and the energy and the people in the road, just following and enjoying themselves to Junkanoo. I mean, the feeling alone, I think it overtook everything. And after that, I don't want to say I'm afraid to see what's gonna happen Boxing Day, but my gosh, if that's any indication of what we are to prepare for what's gonna happen on Bay Street, boy, Ronald them deep in the shock for true that.
Yeah,
Listen,
that was indeed a very good morning, and a lot of groups came out and they um, clearly displayed themselves very well. But what's next on the Junkanoo calendar, Darren?
Next is August Monday. Oh, Fox Hill Emancipation Day Rush, man. That is
Mm.
next on the agenda, on the calendar. That's people say that August Monday is probably the busiest holiday when you look around the festivals that happen in the country itself. And that rush sets the tone. Well, actually, it closes off. I don't think there's any other road parade after August Monday.
Mm.
So if you miss Easter, you miss Labor Day, you ain't come Independence Day. How you can find out where your back line, how they measuring up, and how your group lining up if you ain't coming Fox yet? How?
Well, if you have missed all of those parades, two things: you're either in Freeport or you're in jail. Like as you
but before you get to those parades, don't forget you have Junkanoo Summer Festival returning this evening. You know.
Yes.
True. Who is on the lineup this evening, Ronald?
I'm actually looking for that for you right now.
I can help you with the groups. We
Yes,
supposed
they
to
have
be
the B category rush at 6 o'clock. You have Conquerors for Christ and Red Land Soldiers. And the A category rush at 9 o'clock. You have Genesis.
Mm.
Is that right, Farrington?
yes, definitely. That is spot on. That is spot on.
It was
Um
Conquest for Christ and Genesis.
Conquerors for
and
Christ and Red Land
Land
at
Soldiers.
2 o'clock. And then at 9 o'clock, it's Genesis.
Mm.
And
So
in between that, you have the various stage artists performing. Visage is on stage this evening. Lacido Boys is on stage this evening. And then later on tonight, you have Veronica Bishop and
Oh, boy,
a couple other folks.
it's a
Yeah.
heavy lineup tonight.
that's a great lineup.
It's
That
heavy.
I think it's Veronica Dyson and Funky D and it's from noon to midnight. Pure entertainment at RYT.
Man, y'all ain't want the people go home.
No, the vendors
So,
need them out.
so let me ask this question, right? What do you think is the significance of Junkanoo Summer Festival? Why is it is it important to have, and why is it even important to have?
Is that for me or Bastian?
Well, both of you.
Well, there are a couple of reasons for Junkanoo Summer Festival. It exposes both Bahamians and visitors to the culture of the Bahamas,
Mm-hmm.
particularly the visitors who get an opportunity to experience a Bahamian way of life, the
Mm.
music, food, the dance, the arts and crafts, the mingling of the people, the fellowshipping of the people, which is very important. And when visitors go to a destination, they want an authentic experience, and you can't get a more authentic experience than being part and parcel and mixing in with the people and experience the way the people live on a day-to-day basis. Bahamian culture to the core. That's one. Two,
Mm-hmm.
it creates an economic outlet and benefit to the multiplicity of vendors who are involved in selling their wares, whether that be food or beverage or art or the children's playground. It creates income for the artists and musicians who perform
Mm.
at these activities. And of course, it entertains all the people who come to partake.
Right.
In a nutshell, yeah.
But Ronald, I think for me one of the things I look at, being a lover and I mean of Bahamian culture from the artist standpoint and musical, I think it gives artists a platform and also, an area to showcase their work in
No
terms of
doubt.
songs and everything that they may have been working on.
Mhm. Mhm.
That is a perfect opportunity, and I think for me, I would like to see it magnified just a bit to the point whereas it was like Gombe, to whereas we had that conclave of Bahamian artists coming out of that Gombe time. I hope we get back to that point at some point with the Junkanoo Summer Fest, whereas they have that platform and that stage to unleash that music and stuff that they're working on.
And I think they're using that to their benefit. The creative juices are flowing. You see new music coming out. Since COVID, a great number of new music has come out. You see new performers coming out, and they're being featured on these events and these activities, not only here in New Providence with the Junkanoo Summer Festival, but in the Family Islands where they have
Mhm.
the Goombay Summer Festival going on, and with the various regattas and homecomings all across the country. And you talk about Fox Hill next week. Well, people are going to be spilling all across this country next week for regattas and homecoming. The Cat Island Regatta is happening. They've got stuff all over the place. So between the airport and the docks next week, it's going to be crazy.
That's good. That's good. I mean, it's good to see activity starting again, and I think it's going to be tremendous, particularly for, like you said, for the communities that these events are having in that these events are being that these events will be in. But there's also the is the Junkanoo Summer Festival being replicated in other islands as well?
No, Junkanoo Summer Festival is only in New Providence. The other islands are hosting the Goombay Summer Festival,
Mm,
which is pretty much a cousin of the Junkanoo Festival.
mm.
And many of the elements that happen at Junkanoo Summer Festival are at the Goombay Summer Festival with the music, the food, the dance, the arts and crafts. Pretty much similar thing.
As taking myself out of knowing what I taking myself looking at it differently. My question would then be for anybody who can answer. What really is the difference between Gombe and Junkanoo?
You got the man right there. But I thought you'd be able to answer that.
No, I mean, Junkanoo, for the most part, the way we practice it is a street parade.
Hmm.
Now, it has many other elements that we could branch off into and monetize it and create other streams, not only for the street parade, but for the most part, is known as the parade, Junkanoo as we practice it. The Goombay is the official music of the Bahamas on the one hand, and Goombay is also a festival on the other hand. Before we had a Junkanoo Summer Festival, we had a Goombay Summer Festival that dates back to the 1970s. And
Hmm.
if you guys are old enough or young enough to remember downtown Bay Street, where the Goombay Summer Festival used to be held on a Wednesday night, that featured
Yep.
the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band and a slew of vendors and arts and crafts, kind of pretty much similar to what is going on now, but lined off on Bay Street. And the Goombay dancers, of course, are Chippy and Maureen and Becky and all of those. But the Goombay is basically the rhythms of the Bahamas, the musical rhythms of the Bahamas. Now, Goombay is an umbrella term that has been used because out of that Goombay, you have the rake and scrape, which is a form of the Goombay music, and the Junkanoo, which is another form of the Goombay music, the rhyming spirituals and that kind of thing. So they're distinctly different, Junkanoo and Goombay.
So there's definitely a lot for our visitors to experience while they're on pretty much any island in the country.
There's a lot, but certainly not enough. We could do a lot more in enhancing the visitor experience by celebrating our culture, presenting our culture, ensuring that the various landmarks in these islands, most
Hmm.
of these landmarks have tremendous tourism potential, but we keep them hidden. even when Bahamians go to the islands, they go for the party. They don't go for the education and the history and the sites and stuff, you know. And I just think the islands themselves and the ministry who's for the most part responsible for the promotion of these facilities need to do a better job in causing people to appreciate that each island is uniquely different, and there are sights and sounds and experiences on each island that we need to be aware of. When I go to an island, I want to see something I haven't seen before. I want to see the blue holes. I want to see how they grab the corn. You know, I want that island experience. But too many of us just go for the party. We go for the dance and the music and the drinking and thing, and we don't worry about nothing else. So
Well,
we're not richer. We're not richer when we come back.
but like you say, if that's all quote unquote you know a place to be, is that party experience. Part of it, like you say, these landmarks needs to be exposed. They need to be
Yeah.
publicized. They need to be highlighted in the commercials, in the the public announcements. All of these things you need to know when you go into particular islands, quote unquote, what is native to them. What do they do in their pastime? So you could actually say, you know what, well, I can hang out to this place because this where they probably is plot straw or they just do this. You know what I mean? So part of that is highlighting and exposing these treasures to people also.
And I think the island communities has a lot to do with the exposure and the presentation and causing people to know that these things exist on the islands as opposed to waiting for the Ministry of Tourism to do all of that, because it really benefits the island more than anything else, you know.
But you know what fascinates me, right? And I love to hear it. Anytime you go to a particular island, I am always fascinated by the way we speak. We are one country, but we speak in so many different ways, and
Yeah.
it's interesting how you are able to identify someone who may be from Abaco as opposed to somebody who may be from Eleuthera, and the that always amazes me, and I think that is a part of the beauty of who we are as a people. And I don't know if we have had an opportunity to document, quote unquote, our various tongues. Um, just to hear. I think that would be a very interesting project. More of an audio. Clearly, it have to be audio based, but it'll be a very interesting project to see done.
Man, I remember the first time I went up to Eleuthera. Man, I laughed at them people like nothing, boys. But it's a beautiful language, man. It's a beautiful language, and interacting with them. And, they know when you're teasing them, they just put it on for you when you're messing with them. It's beautiful, man.
uh,
But like I say, I think we have to spend more time promoting the things that are uniquely indigenous to that island, that only that island, look, flour cake, for example.
mm,
Um, a lot of people think that flour cake is only done in Cat Island, but flour cake is done in a number of islands around the Bahamas. Of course, Cat Island is most known for it because they've taken the time to get it out there.
Publicize it.
Yeah,
They own that. They own flour cake, buddy.
yeah. Long Island, for example, has the deepest blue hole in the world. And when Bahamians go to Long Island, they don't go look for it and experience it. I mean, they have
mm.
major dive competitions there every year to see who could go the deepest in a blue hole. World
The blue hole,
renowned
yeah.
competitions. And most Bahamians don't know what's happening there.
Mm.
You know?
And yeah, because then we wonder why some of our visitors could tell us more about our
Yeah.
country than anything else.
They come for the
Okay.
experience.
They go for the experience, and the experience matters.
We go for the party.
Yeah, you know, you know, the
I
three for
mean, the
five.
party is good because the party brings with it its own economic benefits to the island.
Mm-hmm.
But I always tell people every time there's a regatta or homecoming coming up and we talk about it here on the radio, I suggest to people that they come back a little richer than when they went to the island. Come
Yeah.
back with some history, the sights and the sounds and the awareness of what the island presents, the topography, the geography, those kinds of things.
Yeah, for sure. So
Wonderful.
as go on, Darren. Sorry. Yeah.
No, what we have going on now is that we're getting our guests sorted out technically, so they'll be ready once we get back from our next break. We'll be able to properly introduce them and dive into the topic of what we're dealing with deeper into the show. But this conversation is really going well. I would actually like to see some intention going into us documenting the various different dialects we have on the various different islands. That would be, a very good undertaking of a task for the Ministry of Culture
Hmm.
and see how these things have evolved even over time.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. So
So
with that,
that is
ladies
good.
and gentlemen, we're going to go to our next break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to talk about the Emancipation Day Festival in Fox Hill. See you on the other side of the break.
You saw Larry take the money off the teacher's desk.
Yes, Mom.
And you told the teacher.
No, Mom.
Why not?
Because Larry wouldn't want to be my friend no more.
Honey, Larry did something wrong and you need to tell an adult. You may feel bad, but it is important that you do the right thing. Nobody has to find out that you told.
Okay.
Small crimes lead to big crimes. If you see a crime, you can call Crime Stoppers. It's safe and easy, and nobody knows who you are. You'll speak directly to someone in Miami or Toronto, Canada. They never ask anything about you. So be brave and do the right thing. We all need to help. Stop the crime before it's our time.
Guess what, Mommy? I feel good because I told somebody about Larry and the teacher get our money back. So pick up the phone. No one will never call you a snitch.
Call Crime Stoppers Bahamas today at 328-8477 or from the Family Islands, 242-300-8477. It's safe, and the life you save may be your own.
This public service announcement was brought to you by Crime Stoppers in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
The Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development, in conjunction with the National Emergency Agency, presents the 2022 official hurricane shelters for the islands of the Bahamas. Cat Island, Lovely Zion Baptist Church, The Bluff, Mount Sinai Baptist Church, Downs. Seaview Seventh-day Adventist Church, Wilson Bay. St. Andrew's Anglican Church, Arthur's Town. St. Mark's Anglican Church, Port Howe. Zion Baptist Church, McQueen's.
From the Junkanoo Library, filed under E for Emancipation. The Abolition Act of 1833 decreed that slavery was officially abolished in most of the British Empire on August 1st, 1834. However, only slaves below the age of 6 were freed. and all slaves over the age of 6 were termed apprentices and were not finally freed until 1838. In the Bahamas, we have commemorated this event each and every year since, a yearly reminder to treasure our freedoms. And in the spirit of the resistance to slavery by our ancestors, we celebrate in the historic African township of Fox Hill with our Junkanoo, a treasured tradition.
Welcome back, folks. You're tuning in to Junkanoo 242. The whistle has been blown. I tell you that much. We're all lined up and it's now time for our first lap. This morning we talking about it. Yes, we're getting ready for it. We're talking about Fox Hill Day Rush. If you haven't known by now, August Monday, get ready. Make sure you are in place. Our guests has joined us and they're going to give us a lot more information about this whole festival that they're having in Fox Hill. Good morning, are you there? You're still muted if you're talking. Gonna need you to unmute yourself. Okay, while we're waiting for them to get that sorted out. Yes, we're supposed to be
Hello,
having
good morning.
Good morning, how you doing? Are you there?
Good morning, how are you?
I'm very well. Go ahead and introduce yourself for me, please.
I am Clinton Pierce, the chairman for the Fox Hill Festival Committee.
Okay, nice to have you, Mr. Pierce. We want you to go ahead and tell everybody about the whole festival that's happening in Fox Hill that is about to be taking place. Tell us, what are some of the plans from the committee. You just go ahead and tell us what you guys have planned.
Okay, we're delighted that Fox Hill Festival is back, for
2 years.
Last 2 years, because of COVID-19 pandemic, we were not permitted to have festivals. And so we're delighted that festivals are now back and Fox Hill Festival is back. We have a schedule of events planned on the 30th of July, which is next week, Saturday. We kick off our festival at 8 a.m. with a BAIC pop-up farmers market on the Fox Hill Parade grounds. That goes from 8 to 1 p.m. And then in the evening at 7 p.m., we have our opening ceremony on Fox Hill Parade grounds again. On Sunday the 31st, we will do a church visitation with one of the churches in the community. That would be Coke Methodist Church on Rose Street. That's an 11 a.m. I think it's a 9 a.m. service. 9 a.m. service, yes. And then, of course, the big day, the big rush out, Junkanoo rush out, Emancipation morning. We met with the police. We met with the Junkanoo groups. We're all good to go. The parade will start at 12 midnight. 12 midnight, we have 7 groups that are going to be participating. There will be 5 A groups and 2 B groups. The A groups are the Saxons, Valley Boys, Roots, One Family, and Genesis. And the B groups are the Red Land Soldiers, and of course the Home Village Boys, the Congos, original Congos. And so that brings us to August 3rd. Sorry. That brings us to the ecumenical service. After the Junkanoo rush, we have just a couple hours to get the place all spruced up again for the ecumenical service, which will be held on the Fox Hill Parade grounds again. It's an outdoor service, and that begins at 11 a.m. And by 12:30, that's done. Then we move from the Fox Hill Parade to the Fox Hill Community Center for the Senior Citizens Luncheon. and that is at 1 p.m. Our Governor General will be attending the church service, and most likely he will then join us at the luncheon, and he will meet as many of the seniors that he can to have a little conversation with them. Following that, on the parade grounds and on the Foxhill Park, there will be vendors selling their wares, food, drinks, toys and games for the kids. Then there'll be also some live entertainment. We're working with Urban Renewal to bring something special with regard to culture and emancipation on that particular day. So they have a full program on the parade to remind us of what emancipation was all about, and the full day of activities, inclusive of plaiting of the maypole, climbing the greasy pole, and that goes until about midnight. Then on August 6th, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., we have BAIC Pop-Up Farmers Market again. And at 4 p.m., we will have a mini tattoo. That will be called Law Enforcement Day. So we'll have the police, the defense force, and the prison marching bands. And that would be followed by other activities on the park with vendors selling their wares. On August 7th, we have the gospel concert to be held at the Foxhill Community Center. You're welcome all to come and join us. A number of gospel artists will be performing. Then the big day. The big day is August 9th, Tuesday, August 9th. Of course, Foxhill Day is always the second Tuesday in the month of August.
Yes.
And we'll have the usual activities on the park and the parade. Vendors, the streets will be closed, and so we'll have vendors in the parade grounds, in the park grounds, and on the street. And you know, if you've been to Foxhill Day, you know it's kind of like Junkanoo on Bay Street in terms of the crowd turnout.
Mr. Paris, you guys have a full slate of events. I mean, just ready to go from July 30th. My question to you is that we were talking about it earlier in the show. People have been anticipating, this type of festival, this type of, getting together with one another to celebrate, things that are Bahamian. And you guys are gonna. I mean, you have like a whole week in terms of you got Emancipation Day and you got Foxhill Day. My question to you is that in planning these things and hearing the buzz from your community, what is the anticipation like from the community itself?
I can guarantee you, folks cannot wait. Folks were pent up during the pandemic, and they were just raring to get out. And so once the message was sent out that festival is back, we had vendors lining up, breaking down our doors to get their stalls, and we're good to go.
One of the questions is that we know how important it is to keep on doing this type of commemoration, remembering these important dates in the community. Is my question to you, from being the chairman from the committee, what is so significant about this, you guys celebrating this Foxhill Day, this Emancipation Day? What is so significant about it?
Well, if you don't know your history and you don't preserve it, then you're bound to make a lot of mistakes. And so the festival committee was the brainchild of the late Eric Wilmot.
Okay.
In 1988, he had this vision to create a festival around the two signature days, Emancipation Day and Foxhill Day. And the committee got together, and basically it's a full 9 to 10 days of activities. I don't think this happens anywhere else in the Bahamas. And so we are all about preserving the history and culture of the people of Fox Hill. Of course, for the ecumenical service, that gets showcased. We thank the Heavenly Father for how He has sustained us over the years, and then the luncheon, which follows that, is fully supported by the churches in the community. So almost all of the items on the menu are provided by the churches in the community. There are roughly 20 churches in the community that support this event every festival. Interestingly enough, this year we got some sponsorship from the Chinese ambassador, and she pledged that they're going to provide some items for the menu as well this year. So we're going to have a little bit of Chinese cuisine on the menu as well this year.
Boy, you all stretching your wings. You all stretching your wings. You all giving the people a bigger selection on the menu.
Yes, yes. And actually, you know, the Chinese ambassador resides on Eastern Road, and she's only about three minutes away from the community center. So she considers herself one of our neighbors.
Interesting. I think we need to be very mindful of who we are, so we don't and stick to, you know, what has been traditionally, what Fox has been traditionally about. I'm sure that the committee is going to maintain that. But let me also ask the question about the lineup for the parades, because I know that in past years, they're different based on which number each group drew. They entered the parade from different places. Is that the intent this year as well?
That is the intent. We have found that works well for us. We have 3 entry points. One would be from Bernard Road. The groups would line up in the area of the car park for the Fox Hill Clinic and the Sandlands Primary School.
Mm-hmm.
Could be right across from St. Paul's Baptist Church.
Right.
The other entry point would be Fox Hill Road North, which would be, they would line up near the community center, which is at Fox Hill Road and Roma Street.
Right.
And then the third entry point is Fox Hill Road South, near the Fox Hill Park, Freedom Park.
Right.
That works very well for us, because what we can do is we can line up multiple groups. Of course, each group makes a complete circle of the roundabout, and they exit at the same entry point that they came in on.
Right.
And then the other group can just come and follow right after that. So we don't have that lag in between. If we can get the groups all lined up in the right location and ready to go when we kick off at 12 midnight.
Great. So has the numbers been drawn? Have the numbers been drawn already?
The numbers have not been drawn yet. We met with the Junkanoo groups this past Wednesday to officially inform them of the groups that we wanted to be participating.
Yes.
And the drawing is to take place in short order.
Oh, okay. All right. So how will we know when the groups would be, which numbers were drawn? Are you planning on doing that on the show?
We were planning to do it on the show. Yes.
Okay, great. So Farhan, how would you like to handle that?
We could pick that up from during our next break. We could pick that up. That won't be an issue. I'll have things in place for that. One of the things is setting the backdrop of the spirit of this rush. This is a no competition rush. That is correct, right?
That is correct. in the past, it used to be a competition.
Mm-hmm.
And in the true spirit of Junkanoo, somebody always thought they got robbed. So I was talking to a Junkanoo this past week, and he said to me, he said, "Man, I'm glad it's no longer competition." He said, "Because one year the Saxons were in Grand Bahama, and they still won in Fox Hill." So what we do is we offer a participation fee, and for the A groups it's $1,800. For the B groups it's $1,200.
Good.
Okay.
Very good. Very good.
I think it also it's removing that competition. Also, it gives you a chance to actually, in the spirit of Junkanoo, to celebrate the days itself. That Emancipation Day, you're out there as a group, as an organization, as a Junkanoo to celebrate. You're there to pay tribute and homage to your ancestors who had to be a part of this whole slavery thing. And now on this day, they got their, hey, you're no longer a slave, and you can be a part of that by celebrating. And I think that is, it's an awesome feat to remove that competition. So, you could go there. Bastian, no getting locked up this year, okay? No more of that. Okay?
What a time, what a time.
Yeah, but that is definitely something that is something that I think it's a good spirit, but also too it gives people a chance to, because I mean Russian and Fox Hill it's kind of like a whole different atmosphere rushing around that Fox Hill parade. You understand that people are right there next to you, and you can feel the energy as you're performing, in the Junkanoo group. So it's a truly a celebratory event. All right. But that is something that we're looking forward to. What we're going to do is we're going to run to our break. And once we come back from our break, we're going to draw the numbers for the lineup. And then we will hear a little bit more about the Fox Hill Festival committee as to what their plans is and what we can expect from there. Folks, you tune in to Junkanoo 242. We will be right back.
Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development, in conjunction with the National Emergency Agency, presents the 2022 official hurricane shelters for the islands of the Bahamas. Eleuthera Central District, Camp Simonet, James Cistern Gregory Town, Church of the Nazarene, Palmetto Point, Emily G. Petty Primary School, Governor's Harbor, George E. Johnson, Hatchet Bay, the Salvation Army, Palmetto Point, Wesley Methodist Church Hall, Palmetto Point, Eleuthera North District, Charles Wesley Methodist Church, Lower Bogue, Mission Church of God, Upper Bogue, New Jerusalem Church, Blackwood, the Current Community Center, the Current, the Haitian Baptist People Church, The Bluff, Zion Methodist Church, Current Island, Eleuthera South District, Church of God of Prophecy, Tarpon Bay, Deep Creek Primary School, Deep Creek, Green Castle Primary School, Green Castle, Rock Sound Primary School, Rock Sound, Whimsy's Bite Primary School, Whimsy's Bite.
Examples of excellence. Although he was born and lived in Fox Hill all of his life, Maurice Tynes got his Junkanoo start with the Saxons. In 1986, Maurice teamed up with others to form the Fox Hill Congos, and thus began the glory days of Junkanoo in that historic community. In 1988, with Leonard Laddie Bain chosen as the leader, Maurice assumed the position of group manager and harkened back to his roots to rally the Fox Hill community around the group. These were exciting days in Fox Hill with their own Junkanoo group, the Fox Hill Congos. And at the center of it, one of its pillars, Maurice Tynes, known for his high standards and team spirit, which led to phenomenal growth in a few short years. Although a strongly principled Christian man, Maurice Tynes, the distinguished former chief clerk of the House of Assembly and former chairman of the Fox Hill Festival Committee, continues to have a tremendous impact on his community. Maurice Tynes, this week's inductee into the Junkanoo 242 Shack of Excellence.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Last time Mr. Tynes was on the show back in 2019. Bastian, you gave him the title of CCE. You know?
CCE?
Yes. It was I think it was Chief Clerk Emeritus.
Emeritus, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I was yes, he got that title on the show. I said, "Oh, okay, you giving people title now." It's all right. This is what we got. But folks, you're tuning in to Junkanoo 242. It's the second lap, and this morning we're pleased to have the chairman of the Fox Hill Festival Committee joining us live at Junkanoo 242. Folks, the stage has been set already. August 1st, 12 a.m. The drums will be getting rolling over. But before we get to that, listen, the 7 groups' names have been tossed inside this clear container. Bastian, I don't want you to say I pull you out first. You understand? They have been there, but in this clear container, all 7 of the names who have been invited, and we're gonna get this drawing going so people know what's up. Go ahead, Bastian. What's your question?
No questions. No questions.
I did not
make sure you don't want any long sleeves.
No, I ain't put Sting in this one because you know if Sting come Fox Hill, y'all can't rush no more. All right, so we go on with the first group that's coming up. All right, the first group is the Valley Boys. That's number 1. Let's get them in. That's number 1. Let me make a note of that because you know, you just don't keep track of nothing. You no long sleeve here, Bastian. No long sleeve here. Second group is Roots.
Mm.
You sound like you a being. You got what's going on here?
Oh my.
All right. The third group is Genesis. All right.
So we got the Valley Boys, we got Roots, we have Genesis.
Yes, sir. All right, who's up next? Up next is Redland Soldiers. Oh, you all got a heavy lineup coming in. Next, the original Congos.
All right.
Redland, original. We got 2 groups next, folks. Who's coming up?
Y'all saving the best for last.
And next is the Saxons. Yes, the last group closing out the show is One Family.
That's what.
One Family. So we have the lineup.
What's the lineup? Repeat the lineup for me.
The lineup we have First is the Valley Boys, second is Roots, third is Genesis, fourth is Redland, fifth is Original Congos, sixth is Saxons, and closing out the group is the Root is one family.
So we have to, I know that the parade starts at what time?
12 a.m. 12 a.m.
12 a.m. Monday morning, correct?
Monday morning, Emancipation morning.
Good. And we're gonna start. We just had the lineup, so the groups will roll in one after the other from there. So now, where does the first group actually line up? The second, third, and so on. How are we going to know where to line up?
Well, the first group will come in on Burnett Road by Sandlands Primary School and the clinic.
Right.
Right. The second group will come in by the community center.
That is Fox Hill Road North.
Fox Hill Road North. Right. The third group will come in Fox Hill Road South by the park.
Okay.
And then the fourth group will come in at Burnett Road again.
Right.
And we just complete the second.
Okay. All right, no problem.
So we go back to Fox Hill Road North and then Fox Hill Road South. Yes.
Okay. So what it looks like is the Valley Boys will start at Burnett Road. Roots will start at Fox Hill Road North. Genesis will start Fox Hill Road South. Redland will start at Burnett Road. Original Congos will start from Fox Hill Road North. Saxons will start from Fox Hill Road South. One family will start from Burnett Road.
Yes, that's it.
All right. What we will do is we'll have a flyer out with these details probably before the end of the day so the groups will know exactly what's the lineup in case they missed the show. But also we'll put the details on our Facebook page. Also where they'll be starting from. Any other communications, definitely we will be in communication with you guys. If you need to make any changes to the lineup, you can just send it to us, and we'll be sure to get it out to the public. That's not a problem.
Yes. Just one other concern. The police had a bit of a concern about the continuous flow of the parade and us being able to complete all the groups by a certain hour. As you know, the ecumenical service will be at 11 a.m. And so we need a roughly at least a 2-hour period in between to clean up and get set up for the service. So we have to be done. We have to be all done by 8:30, 9 o'clock. So we're looking at if we can get each group to perform within 45 minutes to an hour, we should be able to get out of there.
Definitely. We just need to make sure everybody shows up on time and start the parading on time.
And the marshals are working their groups to ensure that they keep them moving.
Okay, definitely. Is there somebody who's the point of contact that the groups would be contacting in terms of for the Junkanoo Rush itself, if they need any further information? Who's that person? What's that person's name?
That's Warren Davis.
Okay. Definitely. So in the communication, you send a contact for him?
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay. Wonderful. So the person you'll be contacting, chief marshals or grand marshals of the group, you reach out to Warren Davis from the Fox Hill Festival community. He's your point of contact if you have any questions where you guys will be lining up from, or any other concerns that you may have in terms of the Junkanoo parading itself. Folks, Fox Hill Day is coming up. Emancipation Day is coming up. Bastian, you ready? Are you ready?
Always, man, always. Fox Hill is one of those parades you really got to be here for to appreciate. Definitely ready for Fox Hill this year. It's been a long time, but we are back.
Barefoot, you ready for Fox Hill? Cause you little quiet.
Let me tell you, in the 1970s, I used to lead the Foxhill Day Parade. I used to come out of the Jungle Club where the Groovers rehearsed. I used to be in my diaper and thing leading the Foxhill Day Parade. Diaper and baby boy and thing. See, that's what you don't know. That's right. That's when the groups used to rush combined. There was no competition. There were no individual groups. Everybody just joined in one and rushed around the parade. Then that night, the Groovers would be in concert in the Jungle Club.
Question for you, Ronald. Is that spirit of Junkanoo in that Fox Hill community and that rush that you speak about, is it still there? Is it still alive? Do you still feel that energy?
Yeah, but unfortunately, you only get to feel it now at Fox Hill daytime, the Emancipation daytime.
Mm-hmm.
But when I worked in the Fox Hill community in the 70s, when my band practiced in the jungle clubs, the village was vibrant, man. It was alive. You knew that you were in a special place when you were in Fox Hill back then. It's changed. It's changed a lot. I mean, the whole country has changed. The whole world has changed. But some of these things, these values, these old traditions, you can't let them go, man. You gotta hold on to them.
Yeah, because that's what helps to knit and create the fabric of the society itself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, as much, with all of the change, I think we have to be as true to ourselves as possible and hold on to those traditions that define who we are as a people and a community, because there's certain things about this whole, like as Ronald articulated, there's certain things about the Fox Hill Festival that makes it what it is. And I think we need to be very, very cognizant of those things that define it and keep those things as
and I was glad you
true as
touched
possible.
on I was glad you touched on something earlier when the good gentleman from Fox Hill mentioned the other nationality, and you cautioned him, and it was good that you cautioned him about that other nationality bringing in their dishes to the community at that time. I was happy to hear you do that.
Yeah, I mean, we are who we are as a people, and we have to preserve, our true identity, so to speak.
I mean, take the money, but let's leave the content as they are.
Yeah.
Stop diluting it. I mean, we don't dilute the whole country. We gotta stop, man. This nation is losing its way. That's for another time. But I had to say that.
Point taken, Mr. Barefoot. Point taken.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Mr. Pierce, like you said, when you guys put out the dates, you had a lot of people who are ushering to get vendor booths and stuff like that. What does this festival do for the economics for the people that live in that community itself?
Well, the festival was a deliberate effort to provide some economic relief to residents of Fox Hill in preparation for back to school, etc. And so a lot of the vendors relied on the festival to generate some much needed income to ensure that they were able to send their kids back to school. And so a lot of our vendors have been with us for the full 34 years.
Whoa!
And of course, over time, as the festival grew, we had others from Bahamians from other communities realizing the potential of the Fox Hill Festival. They sought to also have access. Mm-hmm. Of course, we didn't deny them access. And, the festival has grown tremendously.
Definitely, that's good. When you talk about vendors being around that time, obviously the festival is something that is growing, it's something that's vibrant and profitable. For them to continuously be there. Some 30 years is like this a generational boot right here. You watch the kids just grow right up inside the boot. Eventually till they run in the boot itself, but that is good. And it's one of the good things, like you said, it was done with intention to actually put in some type of vehicle for them to actually get the finances to get their kids back to school, by running it through that. That is always commendable to see people, enabling and empowering themselves, just not sitting around waiting for something to happen. So that's commendable for the community to keep this energy and these traditions alive, man. I can tell you one thing, the Junkanoo community can't wait to get in Fox Hill. They can't wait. What do you say, Bastian?
I totally agree. I mean, that Fox is one of those parades you got to be to. So that's definitely on everybody's calendar, and it just sets the tone for what's going to happen for the rest of the year. Because now after Fox Hill, boss man, get ready for big.
So that's not like Beth and them can sleep inside the shack after this day.
Well, especially when they hear Independence morning behind them. So I know. I ain't gonna say it, but I know. And guess what? They gonna be behind them. They gonna be behind them again.
Oh boy! But this is something that I think we all are looking forward to. The slate of
You
events.
are taking your place behind us.
Excuse me?
Your place behind us. That is your place. All of you.
Oh boy. Oh, what kind of words they open up?
I keep telling y'all every time y'all bring this up. Go from the time y'all ended the parades, whatever you was, take the record from there, and the valley's still beating and busting up all from the time you ended. Check your
what kind of words did they open this
We get into Fox Hill to celebrate, the Emancipation Day holiday.
He picking this fight, He picking this. Not me.
I can't bring Bastian nowhere with me.
Bastian like to throw rock.
Yeah, man. Everywhere you go, man. But this I want to say that again, the Fox Hill committee, festival committee, this is commendable. I'm hoping a lot more areas actually start to catch on and learn from what's happening, and they can start putting together festivals in other different parts of in the country, on the island, in their community, celebrating things in their community itself. That's something that we can look forward to and actually work towards. So this is good. Folks, what we're going to do, we're going to run to our final break. And when we get back, you get our news off the shack wall and our closing remarks from the festival committee, the Fox Hill Festival Committee chairman. We'll be right back. You're tuning into Junkanoo 242.
Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development, in conjunction with the National Emergency Agency, presents the 2022 official hurricane shelters for the islands of the Bahamas. Andros Central District, Bowen Sound Pentecostal Church, Bowen Sound, Church of God, Cargill Creek, Highway Church of God, Blanket Sound. Miracle Revival International, Calabash Bay. Mount Ethel Baptist, Love Hill. Mount Sinai Baptist Church, Calabash Bay. St. Bartholomew's Anglican Church, Bering Point. Stafford Creek Primary School, Stafford Creek. Andros Mangrove Key District. Burnt Rock Primary, Burnt Rock. Mangrove Key High School, Swains Mangrove Key. St. Peter's Baptist Church, Little Harbor Mangrove Key. Andros North District. B.A. Newton Primary School, Red Bays. Bartad Building, Bark Community. Clara Evans Primary School, Nicholstown. Ebenezer Baptist Church, South Mastic Point. First Baptist Church, San Andros. Andros South District. Deep Creek Primary School, Deep Creek. Friendship Baptist Church, The Bluff. Long Bay's Key Preschool, Long Bay. Mount Olive Baptist Church, Smiths Hill. St. Paul's Baptist Church, Black Point. The Doctor's Residence Special Needs Clinic, The Bluff.
And now for news off. And now for news off the shack wall. Happy birthday greetings to all celebrating in the upcoming week. We wish you all a happy and a blessed new year. Condolences to the families of everybody who is grieving the loss of a loved one at this time. A special condolences out to the secretary of the JCNP, Natasha Lightborn Dillett, and her family who funeralized her mom yesterday at Bethel Baptist Church. I just want to say a special, condolences out to you and your family. Our thoughts and our prayers are with you. We understand the time that you're going through. We empathize with you. Everybody else, likewise, the same thing. We understand, losing a family member is never easy for anybody. Just remember the memories that you were able to share with those people. The countdown. It is Saturday, July 23rd, 2022. We are 22 hopeful weeks away from Bay. Folks, if you ain't ready now, we got 22. Bastian, you smiling. Your boss don't finish it.
Why are you picking on me, man? Why are you picking on me, my friend?
Because we know you need all you need is but 3 hours. That's all you need. We talking 22 weeks. You trying to figure out where you could travel to in all this time and get back in time.
We got time, man. We got time, man. We got time. We got time. We got time. We got time.
But I want to remind everybody, Junkanoo Summerfest is back this week. Awaki. Ronald said that the entertainment starts at 12, goes until 12 midnight. What we need to look at is that also to come out and support all of the vendors, the people out there. Also support the Junkanoo groups, the performers, everybody that's going to be out there. This festival is about us. It's about our culture being on display. Come out there and show people, how we do it. Have a good time. Bring the kids out and enjoy the Junkanoo, rush out also. And guess what? Fox Hill is up next. That's the next road parade. In case you missed it. The parade lineup is first is the Valley Boys starting from Bernard Road. Second is Roots starting from Fox Hill North. Third is Genesis starting from Fox Hill Road South. Fourth is Redland starting from Bernard Road. Fifth is Original Congos starting from Fox Hill Road North. Sixth is the Saxons starting from Fox Hill Road South. And closing out is One Family starting from Bernard Road. That's the lineup for Fox Hill. Bastian.
That's Monday, August 1st now. So people don't come in Fox Hill Monday night coming. August, Monday, August.
The August 1st.
Pandemonium. Pure pandemonium. Yeah. But Mr. Perez, what would be what would be your final remarks, final thoughts you want to leave with the public as they prepare, to come out there August 1st?
Just to know that Fox Hill Festival is back, full force. We have a full slate of Junkanoo groups that are going to be coming for the Freedom Rush.
Mm-hmm.
And we are in full partnership with the police. So you're going to be secure. When you come to Fox Hill, you will not have any problems whatever. So it's safe to come to Fox Hill. Enjoy the rush. I know everybody was anxious to get out of COVID and for festivals to come back. And so Fox Hill Festival is back with a bang. We look forward to the full support of the Bahamian community for the entire festival period. The festival period runs from July 30th through August 9th. The culmination on Fox Hill Day, August 9th, which is not a public holiday, but
unless you're from Fox Hill, because I don't think nobody in Fox Hill is going to work that day.
You're right about that. And of course, our vendors will have they'll be set up to sell lunch from about 12 noon. So a lot of people actually come to Fox Hill for lunch on Fox Hill Day. So all the Bahamian cuisine will be right there for them to enjoy. The games and toys, etc., for the kids. So it's a family affair.
I wonder if I could get Bastian to climb that greasy pole. I want to see
greasy pole. Are they gonna be planning the maypole this year, Mr. Pierce?
Yes, we planned maypole on two occasions, Emancipation Day and Fox Hill Day. Actually, two times during the day, sometime early in the afternoon and in the evening, on both days. And of course, we're gonna have live band music as well on Fox Hill Day.
Awesome.
The Sky Juice Band, along with some other Bahamian artists, will be coming. And so it's a full night of activities. We go till midnight.
Great. I think you're gonna definitely see an influx of people in Fox Hill this year. Like you indicated, people are really anxious to come back out and fellowship and get back to some degree of what may have been normal. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to being out there. Definitely looking forward to that. I'll get there. I'll try to get there early so I could see all the groups perform, have some nice food, some cold drinks, and get ready to celebrate.
Definitely. I think we're trending in the right direction with these festivals back on the rise, especially for celebrating Fox Hill itself and Emancipation Day. It's going to be something to look forward to. I could feel that the energy is going to be there. People are anticipating, celebrating among themselves. So that is something good. Just one more time before we leave, the lineup for Fox Hill Day, August Monday, is first is the Valley Boys, second is Roots.
12 a.m.
12 a.m. We want everybody to be on time. 12 a.m. First is the Valley Boys. Second is Roots. Third is Genesis. Fourth is Redland Soldiers. Fifth is Original Congos. Sixth is the Saxons. Seventh is One Family. We definitely will have the lineup, and the entry points will be up on the Facebook page. So we definitely have it out there so everybody can know what to expect, who's coming out where. There's no, mix up or anything. If you need to contact somebody from the Fox Hill Festival Committee in regards to the Junkanoo Rush, your person of contact is Mr. Warren Davis. Bastian, closing remarks, man.
No, I'm definitely glad to be going back to Fox Hill this year. I'm truly looking forward to it. Fox Hill is one of those exciting parades, one of those community parades, community parades. where you really get to interact with the people of Foxhill. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Encourage everybody to come out, leave the bad behavior at home, young men and ladies. So let's come and celebrate who we are, where we have come from, with the spirit of knowing what freedom feels like.
Bastian, somebody say, Chairman, no throwing water, please. I don't know what that mean. I don't know what that mean. And it's,
Ashe, ashe,
I
ashe.
don't know what that mean. But no throwing water. That's all they say. They leave that right there.
How many of you,
Barefoot.
how many of you guys remember years gone by when outside of the parades on Bay Street, the only time you would experience Junkanoo would be at Fox Hill or Guy Fawkes Day, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
4 times a year was it. Now
Yeah.
it's become a part of the fabric of Bahamian society. It's everywhere in the islands and throughout New Providence on multiple occasions. And you know there's going to be a big Junkanoo parade next week sometime. Whenever Shawnee Miller return home from
Yeah, that could be huge. That could be huge.
so,
Close the place down.
yes, sir. Give her her due.
Definitely.
She did extremely well. Definitely gotta congratulate her continuously.
Well, folks, Barefoot, any final closing remarks before we leave?
I'm done. I look to see you all at Junkanoo Summer Festival this afternoon to enjoy the food, the camaraderie, the culture, the Junkanoo parades, A and B category groups performing. You know, Visage is going to be there. Veronica Bishop will be there later on. Funky D and just a host of entertainment from noon to midnight all day.
Definitely, folks. All roads lead to Junkanoo Summer Festival this evening. If you don't know about it, just go on our Waki and wait. Listen for the music. Go in the direction of the music. You'll be the right place. But folks, this has been Junkanoo 242. It's all about us and you in the 242. And let everything we do show that we are all proud
Proud to
to
be
be
Bahamian.
Bahamian. We'll see you next week.